voice acting stuff, yes? To make sexy mouth noises with our mouth. Or our butthole, but I'm not here to judge you for that. Some people are into it. I don't know. I pay for that. So one of the topics that I wanted to cover for this, and I do this panel, I try to do this panel every time. One of the main reasons is there's a lot of people who reach out to ask me about voice acting. I don't have a cool presentation with this awesome painting that says no signal. Mainly because I find it a little bit easier to talk to you guys and connect more so with you than to follow along. Some people are visual, which is great. And then a butterfly floats by and I'm lost. So that's why you'll see me moving a lot. If you're not good with that, I'm sorry, it's just gonna happen. So the sexy mouth noise is for beginners. I'm gonna go over a couple of basic things. One of the first things, how many of you are aspiring voice actors, current voice actors, or you just kind of wanted to come see what the fuck this was about? Oh good, everybody in this room, that makes sense. How many of you have experience and have been cast in roles in either indie developed titles or anything along those lines, maybe audiobooks? Okay, nice, okay, cool. So I want to be very clear about something as I'm speaking on this. I don't have a certification to teach. In fact, I would be a fucking horrible teacher because I don't know how to wash my mouth. I'm a sailor. I also would like to imagine, because I've been doing specifically acting almost my entire life. I have stage theater experience, I have combat training, I've got, I mean, you name it, right? Which applies to live action. I am going to cover why sometimes the live stuff is also important and translated to voice acting, because how often do we see AAA actors cast in voice acting titles and they sound like Megan Fox in Mortal Kombat? If you don't know what I'm talking about, may God have mercy on your soul, that's for the best. God damn, did she try? Yeah. The reason I bring that about, though, is a lot of us feel really downtrodden about those things, right? It sucks. We want the opportunities. And how many of you are remote voice actors? So you don't have accessibility to an external studio? Pretty much, for the most part, everybody, right? You got home studios, it's remote. I function off of remote casting, right? That's my bread and butter, that's how I do my jobs. Do I have the capital and the ability to fly? Yes, I'm grateful for that. Not everybody can, and that's the hard part. And I want to remind you guys that are remote voice actors to not beat yourself up about that. Are you losing access to some roles? The reality is, yeah, you always are. That's a constant battle for us. But I also don't want you to just give up on something that you love doing because that access is limited, right? If we don't continue to be like, look, there are disabled actors or socially anxious actors who are dealing with mental health, that kind of thing, that don't have that kind of ability. So the first thing I want to say is I implore you to please continue what you're doing. We can't get to where we need to be as remote actors and prove ourselves if we are not standing together to do so. Okay. I will jump topics. I definitely took my medication too late before I did this panel. So if I go off topic, I promise I'll eventually come back around to it. For equipment. All right, so I'll take an example from a couple of you guys because there's some of you out here. What's your equipment? Your mic, your interface?
SM58, the next two.
Oh, okay.
Oh gosh, I'm on the spot. I just use Audacity for the mixing, and then my mic is
It's okay if you don't remember. Just try to shoot from the hip.
I wish it was a Shure. I can't.
Like a Yeti or something. Is it a plug-in or a USB or?
It's on the Yeti.
So it's a USB.
Yeah, USB.
That's okay. But there's a reason I'm bringing this up, okay? And then who is my other person? Okay. What you got, baby?
SM7B microphone with a Focusrite interface.
Oh, nice.
How many times did you get yelled about that Focusrite? How many times? Tell him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No, I'm dead ass about that. So I bring it up on purpose. You notice that none of you have the same shit, right? You don't even have an interface because you would have known that there's a subblock. You would have named it.
Yeah.
These two did. That's okay. I bring that up on purpose. Everybody starts somewhere. No two people are going to start with the same capital, the same money, the same ability and access to stuff. I started on a fucking snowball, y'all.
Yeah.
No, dead ass. I started on a snowball. And you guys are all nodding because you know. You're like, oh my God. Oh. That's so bad.
I know. It was good for Twitch.
Right. I mean, it worked for streaming, right? But you start somewhere, and that is okay. Don't feel like because you see some of these other voice actors of any level, you know, being like, oh, well, my Newman TLM 103 with my Apollo twin. Like, yeah, that shit's $1,200 fucking dollars. Not everybody can do that. That's the goal, though, right? Is you're building up. If you really give a shit about the job that you're trying to do and you want to be successful in the things that you're doing in voice acting, part of that is returning that capital that you get from the jobs, especially if it's a secondary thing, right? You're working a day job, you're trying to do auditions, it's stressful. You're like, when the fuck do I find time? What do I do? Like, whew! I had somebody message me, not only about the equipment thing, and was like, well, I can't afford, right, something that is fancy, like an SM7B. And even then, an SM7B is considered a middle grade. It's still condenser, and you still have the ability to plug. It's not a USB. It can be, but it's both, right? So for you, that could be a consideration to upgrade to a Shure at some point.
Yeah.
If you ever do, and you're like, I want to get serious, I want a studio to take me seriously when I go to do my demo reel, you gotta upgrade.
Yeah.
Right? Some will accept USB mics, but if you ever read auditions, you guys will notice that there are some devs, especially in games, who will be like, I'm so sorry. You could be fucking fantastic, and I'm sure you are, but they won't take that USB mic because it fucks with the rest of the sound, right? So when they go to mix it later, yeah, it's spicy, it's spicy. So I would implore you to take your time, don't rush yourself, but remember that your equipment is important. The motherfucker's telling you about Focusrite though. Okay, I bring that up because that's also important. You're gonna get people, especially on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck he calls it now, but you're gonna get people that are telling you, well, you're not gonna wanna use that. I need you to understand that that's ass and you're a cheap bitch. Cheap my ass. $200 means a lot to people. $50 means a lot to people. Gas is fucking $70 to fill up your shit because you go 3 miles. Damn. So, I want to make sure that you guys understand that that kind of stuff, it's not about like what Jesus Christ himself came out and said, well, you need X. No, it's not. Because different interfaces, different equipment, different styling is affected by your vocal range, what your goals are for your jobs, and the things that you expect to do to achieve these things. For example, you can have a Shure, but you can use a cloud filter to go into it too, to feed into your interface. Now that cloud filter, it's a little box like this, you plug into it, and you run it back into your system. It's gonna soften the sound a little bit. I use that for streaming, and I used it for a couple jobs. When I was doing a Accounts from a Lonely broadcast station, right, which was a Reddit story that I did many, many years ago. So we just started recording for the rewritten novelization version, right? So we did book 1, and now we're on to book 2. I bring it up because of the quality difference between these microphones, okay? It's important to note. So I had that filter, I had my different interface. I started on a Focusrite 2, it was a Scarlett 2i2, okay? Yeah, I love that little box, it was good shit. But because I was running it through a cloud on a slightly cheaper mic, I went back and listened to it on YouTube like 2 weeks ago, because I was trying to find a specific scene, and I played it and I went, oh my God, what is that sound? You can hear, you guys who listen know, you can hear the difference. And I will play a little clip for you so you can hear it here in a minute. And then I'll play one from the recent stuff. But the sound difference is everything. Okay, so your equipment really does matter, but it's gonna behave differently. So a Shure SM7B for me worked with, my voice is damaged, and I also have a little bit more depth than I used to. Because over time, I have not been kind to my voice, right? I didn't do exercises, I didn't pay attention. I see you looking real motherfucking guilty right now, so I know it's you. But because I didn't, you don't know, right? Opera singers, people in general, fitness people. What do? We stretch, we do a warm-up. I didn't believe in that. I was like, that's fucking, why do I need, I'm just gonna talk. What do you mean? It really does matter over time. I finished a 14-hour audiobook before I came here in 4 days. Okay? Now, some of y'all can do some math. No. I did something that you really shouldn't do for that extensive amount of time, because from a vocal damage perspective, if you are not properly caring for your voice, you will damage it. And I have. That SM7B was good to me when my voice was a little higher pitch and a little smoother, because it could pick up those rich tones. And the focus was good for that because it translated them very well. There was no pitchiness, there was no catches, there was no sounds, right? Your tongue clicks. Some of you were like, so that helps. For you, your USB mic may be great for now, but when you go to upgrade, play with the ideas, research, find the differences. For you, for your mic, you're good. You've got your setup, you know what you're doing, right? Your cans, also important. Those headsets that you guys invest in, that's an investment too. And I say that because the differences in those tones, you're gonna hear it in the cans. So pay attention to that too, okay? So moving on from equipment, does anybody, actually, I'll cut that, we'll get back to it. But do you guys have questions about equipment? Anybody? You kind of hear what I'm saying though, you get me? So if you see the bullshit arguments on VO Twitter or whatever, please know, the only person you should ever be fucking listening to is an established, and I mean established, sound engineer who is good at what they do, has the credentials to say what they're saying, doesn't come out of the woodwork and be like, that's fucking ass. Because that guy usually has a reason for his opinions, but isn't stating the reasons. You ever notice that? They won't tell you why, they just say that shit sucks and move on. For what? I ain't gonna listen to your ass. No. So, research.
Are you gonna cover the importance of room treatment?
Yes. Yeah. My build-up was hoping to give examples and that I could show, because that's coming. Good question though. Yeah. So they just brought up room treatment, right? So since we're done with the microphone part, the other part of this is that room treatment can matter. Now you'll notice a lot of people have booths, right? You'll get the people like, oh my God, look at my new VO. Actually, hold up, I'm gonna let you hear some shit. Because this has to do with that. So I'm gonna pull up, shamefully, I'm gonna pull up one of the OG accounts. Now I do wanna point out that this specific version was from like almost 7 years ago now, okay? It is YouTube quality. So there is gonna be a little bit of a sound difference because of the YouTube quality, but what you're hearing is virtually the same thing. So, this is a sponsored ad for Honda. Actually, we're gonna cover that too, the differences in commercial versus animation and so on.
There's so many things.
So, featuring Mr. Creepypasta.
The floor rumbled as if the building itself were breathing before it settled back into place. I looked at Daniel and he looked back at me. We both knew we'd have to be prepared for the worst the storm could do. As he practically
So you hear the muffling sound?
Microphone to broadcast a crackling message over the
Close
air.
your eyes
I rummaged
and just
in the
listen.
storage closet for industrial-sized flashlights and the keys to the generator shed. Now, all of this supplies made more sense to me. The backpacks, the emergency food rations, first aid kits, flares, fire starting kits. This place was never meant to be a radio station.
Okay. What did you guys hear? Feel free to raise your hand if you want to make a comment. Go ahead.
It's like slightly tinny.
Tinny, okay.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Tinny, okay.
Sibilance.
Ooh. Gross. That's rude. But honest, okay?
I can't remember what the dampener is, but those S's kind of.
Yeah. And I'm very, so vocally, go ahead.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Figure out
okay.
what sibilance was.
No, you're good. So I lay heavy on my S's anyway, right? And that's something else we're gonna cover is mouth noise. But a lot of the time, those tongue clicks, the S drags, they can pick up different depending on the mic. and also depending on how the sound is treated. Now this obviously was not raw, right? Which means, you know, no treatment, no equalization, no anything, right? So this was not a raw sound. This was very treated. It was meant to meet up with the other person who was narrating and their mic, which was different from mine. The recording quality was not the same. Your hertz were not the same, right? And so industry standard a lot of the time is going to be 48 with oh my god, my brain just shut down. With a 24, sorry. I've been having to swap back and forth because audiobooks want 44, 1, and 16. I'll get over those numbers in a second because some of you look clueless and that's okay. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, so we heard tinniness, we heard the sibilants, we heard the strong S's, right? So now I'm gonna play you guys something that is with a different mic setup, a different room, a different sound carry, okay? And a different interface. So all of this has changed. That was 6 or 7 years ago, mind you, okay? So when I was doing it a little more recently, but also not as much. So I gotta find something I can technically let you listen to. Should I guess we're in sexy mouth noises.
Yeah.
Should I let you listen to something sexy?
It's an 18 plus.
Whatever you feel like.
Yeah.
I think I can let you listen to something sexy.
Pretty please.
Wow. I'm pretty pleased. Okay. So let's do, should we do a character or should we do just a regular audio? What do you guys want?
Regular
The regular audio?
Yeah.
Something to prepare the first.
Now again, so this is a Google Drive. So again, audio quality obviously is going to be different. I'm going to play you from like the middle point a little bit. And then we will hear, you guys can kind of hear and tell me what you think. So bear with me while it loads because the signal in here sucks. While that loads, so you were asking about room treatment. That first one that you were listening to from 6 or 7 years ago, so I had the acoustic panels up on the wall, like the foam panels, the foam panels up on the wall. I had on my ceiling, okay? And then I had some stuff in front of me to the corner of me. But I had a room that didn't have a lot of stuff stacked on the wall. So some of that you're hearing is reverb, which is why you're getting the tinniness that you noted, right? Which, depending on the mic and how things are treated, can differ. I still got jobs with that setup. Granted, independent jobs, but I still got them. Now here's the difference.
Wild, that much is for sure. The virus didn't waste any kind of time ripping through the population of women across the country, and it was so fast that the government couldn't even begin to try to stop it. It was aggressively contagious, and in less than a week, the entire infrastructure and dynamic of the country just shifted.
I want to point out, I don't actually remember what this is.
I do.
But it was in my not safe for work folder.
I do.
You wrote it, so
Yeah.
we're gonna skip ahead and kind of see what is
Go ahead,
happening.
skip ahead. Go on. You'll be fine.
Oh God, I can almost smell it on you. Ride my fingers, that's it, good boy.
Oh.
Good boy, I'm almost out of patience. If I don't fuck you now, I'm liable to split you open like an animal in the heat, and I would really like to keep your choice in one piece.
You guys said you want it spicy.
I think it was better than your reactions until like you didn't even know what you were showing.
I didn't. Listen, I'm gonna level with you. I don't remember what I had for breakfast, and I just ate like.
You had breakfast?
What did I eat? Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what did I eat? Damn. Hydrate.
That room sound was that's like under a blanket room sound.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you
So
guys?
funny enough.
Like that's just
Fuck noises aside. Okay. So what did we think? What were some notes?
It sounded perfectly placed inside of the audio.
Okay. Okay.
Took the harsh edge off of those S's.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And off the.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else?
A lot cleaner.
Cleaner.
On the last one, those B's also, that bass
Yeah.
is kind of, when the audio hits its pitch or when it hit the high point and it starts kind of either buzzing,
Yeah.
but over there the B's were a lot more,
Smooth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No problem.
There's a lot more clarity.
Less peaking.
Very.
A lot less peaking. Everything was a lot more even, and there was more body to the voice.
The body. Now, can you explain to everybody what you mean by the word body? It's okay if you can't. I'm putting you on the spot.
It's okay. That's okay.
So what is your definition of body? The body of the voice.
The body is the fullness where you can hear all the highs, all the lows, all the mids, and you get the entire vocal experience and all the rich textures that the human voice has.
Yeah. Ooh. You made it sound so sexy.
I know. I like
The rich textures, the body of the voice. So yeah, obviously, and that's my setup now, right? But you can hear the differences between the two. Again, a little cut on the YouTube quality, but that's virtually really kind of what it was sounding like, right? So with love and reminder, that new setup is a TLM, that's a Newman, right? It's a 103. But I'm running it through an Apollo Lightning Twin, okay? Yeah, it's really nice. But those two made a difference for me versus the Shure with the cloud lifter and all the other shit, right? I didn't need that cloud filter either. I didn't. At no point. It was bullshit. Somebody recommended it. Somebody who shouldn't have been recommending shit, okay? I've also had my setup run through since then a sound engineer I trusted, who knew what they were doing, who understood mixing. Do you guys know who Jordan Reynolds is? No? Okay. Adam Warlock in Marvel Rivals. Okay, yeah, do that. Yeah, I know him. So, Jordan's been phenomenal, and I would 100% recommend him if you guys. He has a thing on his page to go through, and have a meeting with you to go through your sound engineering, and he's amazing. Not only is he just a genuinely good person, but I also took one of his classes. The way he explained voice acting and gave feedback was beautiful. It was a sandwich, which sandwich, for those of you who don't speak corporate, is here's some good things that make you feel the jollies. Here's some horrible shit that I really didn't want to tell you, but I have to because it's going to make you better. But here's the good things. That's a sandwich, okay? But he's really good at it, and it made sense what he was teaching. So I bring that up though, because finding coaches also that are valid, especially when it comes to room treatment, is important. The one thing he told me about my room treatment from the original version to now, I still have those foam pads on the wall. I still have the foam pads on the ceiling. Nothing changed except for the fact that I got moving blankets. You can get them for the big motherfuckers, dead ass. I just need one of those like $5,000 booths. That's what Twitter told me. Bitch, you don't need a $5,000 motherfucking booth. Listen, I've been doing cheap ass shit most of my life. You don't need that.
They did tell you that because you put it on your throne as a joke.
I did.
Yeah. You did.
He knows.
It was immediate, and it's not crowdfunded on purpose.
Oh no, I got pissed off because someone told me, they're like, you cannot be a professional voice actor without a sound booth. Bullshit indeed. But I kid you not. This gentleman saw the comment because I was pissed. I was pissed as hell. But I added it and I said, oh, okay. Let me just clap my hands with that $5,000 that I'm just gonna apparate onto my asshole. And I do that for a living.
Did they tell you that before or after mortuary assistant? Just question.
That's the joke. Because that was after mortuary assistant. But before the other, I don't even know how many fucking jobs I have. I have 17 books between now and the end of the year, and I'm still booking. That's just books. I have 3 other jobs I can't touch right now. But I also have Paranormal Activity Threshold. I will not tell you who I play, but, and that's paramount. That's a huge fucking deal, okay? So, all of this happened, and I got that comment also, before I had recorded for Doc of Chucky, which was for AMC Shutter. Okay? I did this with a sound-treated room that had the same exact setup as before. The only difference is depending on the job and what I need for the resonance and the tone, and what I'm touching on with the sound booth thing. I know I'm digging a lot at sound booths. You don't have to have one. Can they be helpful for some vocal types? Yes. Am I damning the use of sound booth? No, I'm not damning it. If you have the capital, do it. If you have the upgrade in the room, do it. If you live in a fucking studio apartment though, where are you gonna put that bitch? I have a friend of mine, okay? He has a small apartment. He's like, Autumn, I don't know what to do. He's really pushing himself creatively and professionally, and he wants to be better. But he can't do that because he has to have a sound booth. He doesn't have the space for what? So I told him, I said, here's what you do, man. I said, you pick a corner, face the corner. I said, you put up your panels. I said, at least hip high, right? If you're gonna sit or if you're gonna stand, put a little bit on the ceiling. I said, worst case, if you still have, because you don't have a lot of furniture or something, you get a little bit of that back here. You hear that? That echo? Why do you think that is?
Because the room's big.
And there's an overhang in this room that's causing the reverb. What happened? That tinny sound, right? Okay. So the foam really helps to cut those noises, right? But I told him, I said, look, I said, we're gonna be cheap as hell. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, just hold my beer. So I said, get you like 2 good sized, because they're like 80, whatever that measurement is, because I am not a math autistic. But 80 something is big. But you get a big moving blanket. Get like 2 of those. I said, because it doesn't have to be huge. I said, and then you get you some alligator clips. Okay? And then you take those little things that they use for the wall planters that you screw in, and you get you just a handful of those, because those are what, like $2 and some shit at Ace Hardware or Home Depot or whatever. You get you those, you screw those motherfuckers up in there. I'm pretty sure I wasn't bouncing out. But you screw them up in there, and then you take those alligator clips and the moving blankets, and you snap that shit on. You're good to go. And then you pull it across. You make you a little square room. It's all cozy. You put a little lamp in there. You're like, damn, bitch, I like this. Especially if you're neurodivergent, that's like your little sound cave. You make it comfortable. And you know how much you fucking spent by the end? Whatever. Anybody got a guess? Guess some numbers. I want to hear you.
$50.
Let's not get that cheap. Damn. Good guess though.
At most, I would estimate around maybe $180 to $200, depending on the equipment that you get.
And what you, right? Okay. You asked the question. What would you say? Couple moving blankets, some alligator clips and stuff.
Alligator clips and stuff. Probably, depending on if you can get a good deal or not. It's going to be somewhere between 80 to 300.
Okay. Yeah, depending on quality and where you get it from, right? You can absolutely get that set up for like $150. And that is with several blankets, with all your clips. Add your little lamp in there, Just tickle the taint. Just reach around, right? So, but yeah, you can easily do that between $80 to $300, depending on really how much you want to put in. Because you can get those sound panels in the big packs, the 24 packs, which is really helpful. You can get you your moving blankets in packages of 2. Everybody moves, right? I want you guys to think out of the box for sound treatment. Too often you'll get people who are like, you need the XNON 3072 that comes with 57 attachments and it's gonna soundproof your shit, and then you still get reverb. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes it's about the small moments that you have to capture and be like, okay, I don't have to be a $7,000 voice actor with a $6,000 booth, right? And that's just your level. So for soundproofing, you guys heard the difference. That is me in that room with a couple bookcases in the back, a little bit of closure, shutting the window, having a cover over the window can also matter. So if you do have a window by your corner, cover the window. Because, believe it or not, that glass, it cuts through. It sounds so crazy. Sound is such a fascinating thing. It's so fucking crazy, the things that you can figure out and the difference. So I know that this is
like
the boring.
The aquarium. Triggered.
I'm gonna come for you.
Do you want to explain that story? It is relevant. I promise it's relevant. She's having a meltdown, but it's a relevant crash land.
I had a small aquarium in a room several years ago while I was recording a book. I was very sick. Still trying to get through this book because I had a deadline. So I was doing that voice damage thing I talked about that you don't do. Instead of telling them, hey, I'm sick as fuck. So I tried to work through laryngitis, which you don't do. Not only was that the problem, but there was a fish tank over here. My desk was over here. Okay? This motherfucker, this little blub 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 motherfucker, and it sounded like.
This was like a 1 gallon tank with a quiet filter, by the way.
It was a fucking beta fish.
His name was Spite.
His name was Spite, and he screwed me that day. I recorded 2 days worth of this book, and the sound engineer came back and he goes, "I'm just picking up something a little strange under your sound," and I was like, "What the fuck do you mean?" And he's like, "It just sounds the TLDR because I'm gonna launch into some shit." This was something that could have been fixed. The sound engineer chose not to and said, "No, I'm not fixing it for you." And I was like, "Okay, but I just told you how to fix it. I can send you the fixed audio myself. I fixed it. I'm not gonna accept it."
What?
Yeah, it's its own problem. I'm not gonna go there.
Still some feelings.
I'm not gonna go there. Just do your breathing. It's fine. But what wound up happening is I had to redo all of it. So Spite got a new home that was not my office, and I spent the next subsequent week having a fucking meltdown. So, the boring stuff, I know. We're 10 minutes late, but it's very, sorry, go ahead, please.
We're talking about sound booths.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention they have mic-mounted sound booths, so you don't have to do your whole room necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't know what the cost of a thing would be like
I have
that,
one of
but
those.
okay.
They don't work well for me.
Okay.
I still have to have like a bunch of blankets and stuff.
Okay.
For me.
I've never used one, but
Yeah.
you know.
So no, that's a great question. I'm glad you.
Okay.
I'm absolutely glad you brought that up.
It's a
I
desperation thing.
also had one. I also had a chaos ball.
Okay.
So a chaos ball is this. It's actually kind of a fascinating contraption. I brought one because I bought one not because I was actually going to use it because my sound was fine. I was just so interested in like why this thing was supposed to work. It doesn't. But you put this foam ball.
Oh, that thing! She threw it at me.
I did. So hold on, wait, let me defend myself. It was not an abuse case. I threw it at him because I turned and I looked at him and he's like, "So how's that going?" And I was like, "Fuck you," and I threw it. Shit. But it literally is this giant foam ball. You sit on your microphone that has a cutout hole that you put the little mic piece or the little sound speak piece into. It doesn't do shit. Yeah, something like that. Spike would definitely know. Yeah. Yeah. So, and you know what? Maybe it works for people. I'm not gonna sit here and slam it. Maybe there's somebody out there who works for it. Clearly, there must be a market for it, or they're just really taking advantage of people who don't know better, which is probably possible. But that's fine. So, I know that was all very boring, and this was Sexy Malcolm. Is this for beginners? Yes. Okay. Do you guys understand why I wanted to cover the basics, though? Right? Does it make sense? So, any questions about sound treatment, about why the microphone is important, about why doing your own research is a key element to ensuring you get what is right for you, for your vocal range, for your tone, for your depth, right? You want that richness. If you've got that smooth jazz voice, where you really need to milk that richness, or if you do ASMR, which, you know, whatever you're into, except why do you don't put shit on your microphone? Do not put shit on your microphone. Stop putting plastic over your fucking microphone and then putting slime on it!
She put a video on Twitch, we watched it. She had a meltdown.
I watched a girl pour chocolate milk. I don't want to hear it from you guys. You thought it was funny for a minute, didn't you?
With a slime, not just the milk.
No, she dumped chocolate milk on. Anyway, doesn't matter. It wasn't even sexy.
No, it was just a plastic bag on top of the mic.
Do you guys want to hear? Because that's what you're hearing. Look, I'm not here to kink shame. I just am kink asking what the fuck. Anyway, but it all depends, right, on what you're wanting. Now, that leads me into the reason this is called Sexy Mouth Noises for Beginners. One, you're all here, so the title must have worked. It was clickbait. Congratulations, you're already sitting here. Two, I work in both a safe for work round and a not safe for work round, okay? I have had at least 3 over the last week of people approach me in a capacity of trying to understand, like, hey, how are you doing this? How are you using your same name for all of this stuff? And not how, right? Because what you'll notice is that you'll get a lot of VTubers, a lot of H game workers, a lot of hentai or ecchi voice actors who have interesting names, right? And I know some of you guys know. I'll throw one out. Like, obviously Cottontail, right?
Yeah.
Cottontail does a lot of that work. Pixie Willow, who's phenomenal. I love Pixie. I've done a lot of jobs for Pixie. But people like that, right? Vexoria. Vexoria is amazing, but Vexoria is another example of a talented voice actor who kind of has that, that cadence. So, finding the balance of these things and the questions that were asked to me specifically revolve around, I do this not safe for work stuff, or I do, maybe you do IRL content, right? It's of the sexy variety. And you also do sexy voice acting. What do I do if I want to do serious stuff? You've already established yourself in the spicy realm, right? So you're just moaning, right?
Yeah.
Or you're not doing that, maybe you're quiet. I don't know. Or maybe you're real I don't know. I'm not trying to judge the way you come. But it is important to note, right, that if that is predominantly the space that you have already set yourself up in, establishing either a separation of self is the question. Do I keep going under this name, or do I have my separate safe for work persona, right? Young Princess recently was asking me some questions in correlation to that, because that was a concern, right? Very talented, not safe for work actor was like, hey, I'm starting to do other stuff and I don't know what to do. What I would implore you guys to consider is, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you to separate your work. If you're an artist, if you are a live action actor, whatever, I can't tell you what to do. I can only simply tell you my experiences, what that has and hasn't done for me, and why not it's important that we continue to do things in a beneficial manner for all of us. Safe for work or not safe for work. One, respect your safe for work strict people, right? There's no reason that just because they don't want to toe the line that they are to be treated with any manner of disrespect. I've seen it. I know some of you think like, oh, but that's ridiculous. Why? It's happened. And they're assholes about it. Two, if you plan on trying to find yourself moving... I can't pace.
Damn.
Strong. If you find yourself struggling and trying to figure out like your footing with this stuff, what I would say is some people do it because of religion. Some people do it because they don't want their family to know, right? And we gotta respect that, you know? So if you do find yourself in that position where you're like, I just really don't want them to know about this spicy side of my life. And this goes both ways. If you are a safe for work person wanting to kind of touch, if you want to tickle the taint a little, and you find yourself moving into a situation where you would much rather prefer to do both safe for work and not safe for work, or if you're doing vice versa. The biggest thing I would tell you is take into consideration your situation. Is this something that you're okay with everybody knowing you do across all boards? If the answer is yeah, I'm gonna start there because I wanna break it down a little bit. Okay. So if you wanna start in that direction, just remember, like, okay, am I cool? Yes. Religion, we're cool. Family, we're cool, whatever. I just wanna be me. I wanna do the things I love. I just wanna bend somebody over the table, but then also tell them, you know, that I love baking and here's this recipe for good cookies, right? So with that in mind, do I establish a safe for work page or a safe for work presence and a not safe for work presence? I don't know, do you? Do you want to? Because the thing to remember is that some companies, and I hate this, but it's true, some companies, some devs, some commercial especially, they will look at your social media presence. They will see that you are doing not safe for work content, especially if you're doing IRL content. Everything on the internet is seen, right? Okay, yeah.
It's also worth noting that some companies will actually send out auditions and will say no pseudonyms.
Correct.
Like you are using your name.
Yes, and that is actually a really important point for safety, right? Because some of you want to go under the pseudonym or to not have to put that down. Remember that the second that you put your name out there in any kind of contractual capacity, they've got your name legally, right? And that is a concern for some people for safety, especially if you are a not safe for work performer, okay? So you gotta remember that too. Is that something that you're willing to put up, right? So with me personally, I do have a questionable safe for work presence. You know, I'll still post like sexier stuff, but I don't have outright like penetration or like I don't post, you know, the fuck audio you just heard a few minutes ago that I completely forgot about. But I won't post that stuff on that page. I can get a little risky and I'll talk about adult related themes, but I myself will keep that page as a presentation, right? So if they go, they will see the following, they will see these things, whatever, and that's great. I also, though, have a not safe for work page where the advertising for that type of material will go towards that area, right? So I have that safety net of being able to have a position of separation, right? That has benefited me. But do you know what benefited me more than just having that separation? Doing my fucking job well. It sounds funny, and it is, it's laughable, but it's true as hell. Me doing my fucking job to the best of my ability as an actor and presenting for the client and going above and beyond for me and for my job and to do a good job and to do a good job for the audience has carried me further for my relationships with people than anything else. I do not believe that you doing not safe for work, anything, art, voice, IRL, whatever, should ever fucking matter to anybody unless, my personal rule, my stipulation, is that if you go to work in a situation where the specific animation or material or book is geared strictly towards a child audience, I won't touch that shit. I won't, because I know. And if I ever do, that will go under a pseudonym, right? It will absolutely go under a different name, period. Because I will not do that. And that's a personal rule. But besides that, I don't think that that shit should ever affect it. Me moaning into a microphone or putting something in my butthole should not matter when it comes to my ability to perform or to sell the character or to do a good fucking job for my CD, my creative director or my casting director, right? Do you guys feel like that should matter?
No.
If you do, it's okay to say yes, because I don't mind talking to you about it. But for the most part, right? Because you're here to do what? Fucking work and perform and be whatever it is that you need to be for that project, yeah? Okay. So I told the same thing to that other actor when she asked me. I told her the same shit. I was like, look, what are you doing this for? Well, I just love to do it. I'm passionate about it. Then why does it matter? Because you told me it's not about religion. You told me it's not about family. Well, I love it. Then nothing else matters. It doesn't matter that you make sexy mouth noises, title, but it doesn't matter that you do sexy shit on camera or with your mouth or whatever it is. I mean, I guess both of those apply, but it doesn't matter. You are there because you love what you're doing and you want to keep creating, right? So I want you guys to remember that when you're trying to figure out what your next steps are. I don't want you to get discouraged because you want to start maybe in spicier stuff. But then maybe like a book comes across your shit and you're like, damn, I really love that book. I want to record that book. And what do you know? Here's an audition. Put the fuck in for that because you love it. You want to do it. You want other people to know your love through your performance, right? Yeah. So what is you doing this shit even matter? That's irrelevant to this project over here, right? You leave this shit over here. It's irrelevant to this stuff. Take that with you and do good, right?
Your example was going from not safe for work to safe for work, but I guess in regards to people's personal enjoyment and wanting to maybe venture out and the variety of content that they do.
Yes.
What considerations do you have kind of about the escalation ladder of content? Like maybe someone wants to do something that's maybe pushing the boundaries of what they're used to, but maybe they want to hold off on it as they're kind of like gradually working their audience along. Like, hey, I started in sexy audios, and then maybe I am doing some IRL stuff now that's a little sexier too, like that.
Your audience will grow with you. If they love you and they love what you do, your audience will come with you. If they don't want the sexy stuff, that's where the page separation comes in. Okay? So, like I mentioned, safe for work to not safe for work or vice versa. If you really want to have that presentation, but you still want to play it safe because you don't, for example, I have people who don't want to follow my page, right? Because I post pictures like this, which seems innocuous, right? You're like, why is it? You're still kind of mostly clothed. But there's people who won't follow me. Right?
Yeah.
So I would implore you to consider what that looks like for you and your career.
Yeah.
How far are you willing to go? Well, what if my audience doesn't respond well? Well, I don't know. Are you doing it for your audience or are you doing it for you?
Yeah, it's only for me, really. So.
Then I guess you have your answer. I'm serious though. If you're, it's okay. The audience will come.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who love book. I see what you did. But the audience will come with you either way if they love what you do. And if there's stuff that makes them uncomfortable, they don't have to listen to it. They don't have to watch it, right? That's their decision to incorporate that content into their lives. So if that's something you're interested in, do what's comfortable for you. I'm gonna say this, and this goes for voice acting, this goes for literal stuff, this goes for anything, and I'm gonna say it so seriously. Do not fucking ever go outside of your comfort level. Ever. For anyone. The second that you break that and you go outside of your comfort lane, I am dead serious. As I put on my serious girl voice, you hear that shit? Do not ever break your own rules for someone else's request. The second that you do that, you bury yourself. And then you start going, well, the money sounded good. Well, I guess it wasn't that bad. Maybe it was okay. It wasn't okay. It was never fucking okay. Don't ever break your own rules because somebody offered you a little bit of cash. The cash sounds good at the time, but your comfort and that sense of self that carries will fuck you up for the rest of the time that you do this. Don't ever do that to yourself. You guys have so much talent and so much ability and so much room for betterment and that love for what you do. Do not let that be stained. You don't deserve that. Okay? I love you. So, I intentionally, though, I know that got a little serious, but it is a very serious topic because, again, we are really talking about something that is very sexual. You know, it does, and especially when you are doing it specifically for adult content. So, specifically for the ratio of, well, how do I transfer my audience? How do I do these things? Again, you may lose some people. You will lose some people. You will. And that's okay. Because where you lose 5 people, 50 more will show up. Because they're like, damn, I didn't know you could do that. That's so cool. And yeah, I mean, maybe their dick's in their hand or whatever. But like, you know, they're cool about it. or both dicks are in their hands. I don't know, whatever they vibe with. You right? Yeah.
So, kind of on that topic, like, let's say you get a contract coming into you that's like, hey, is that going to be like, we are going to want this? Is that listed out like in a contract? Is that going to be like in the negotiation part? Like, when does that get established for, at least like in your experience?
Yeah, so contracts are going to be a little different for things like ecchis, for ecchi anime or hentai, right? Or H games. All of these things are different. A lot of the time during the audition, before you even get a contract, they will tell you if there is something of a nature that maybe is like, oh, well, some people are cool with that.
Like, it's like, hey, this game shows whole, like...
Well, yeah, but so you know what you're auditioning for when you go to audition for an H game or for an ecchi. And they will still tell you, especially for ecchi anime roles, right? So spicy anime, yeah?
Yeah.
I will get to you in just a moment. But a lot of the time they will be very transparent about what is contained therein. So, for example, a lot of the auditions that I have received for anything ecchi related. So, I did Marry Me, Let's Have a Baby, which is on Ocean Vale, and then I did Nukatashi. So I do Walla and things in Nukatashi, which is based off of an H game, right? So when I got those auditions, they specifically were like, hey, here's the synopsis, here's what's going on, reminder, this is adult. And if there was ever anything, which these weren't an example of this, but if there was ever anything like consensual non-consent, CNC, right? Everybody pretty well knows what that is. Okay. So if there was CNC, if there was like dubious consent, if there was mind control, if there was anything that could be considered a little dicey in terms of consent, right? Or, you know, if there was something, because some people just are not into anal, they will include that kind of stuff. And they will be like, look, here's this list for this role. This could include these things. If you audition, you're agreeing you understand this, right? If you get the role and you auditioned and you went, well, I didn't read that.
See your contract.
You will blacklist yourself from ever doing that again. I'm gonna tell you right now. And boy, they move fast. Also, don't break your fucking NDAs. What does that mean? Don't talk about it, don't breathe about it, don't look at somebody and fucking telekinetically tell them about it. Don't break your NDAs. I see people post pictures of them in the studio and they're like, haha, I'm recording today, but I can't tell you at 4. That's breaking NDA! Did you know that? Some studios count that as breaking NDA. If they didn't directly fucking tell you that you could post about it, don't post about it! I know that should be obvious as hell, and some of you are like, okay. The amount of times I've seen people get blacklisted from studio work and auditions because they did that shit. It's real. Anyway, that's actually the true story. So that's the reason I can tell you about Paranormal Activity Threshold, right? Is because the trailer came out. Trailer was released. I also, though, double checked and was like, so because I'm in the trailer, like, we're cool? And my guy was like, yeah, because the trailer, but shut the fuck up about anything else. And I was like, bet, okay. But even then, you gotta be careful, right? So, technically, I'm out of time, but I'm not gonna stop because we're the last panel anyway, and I'm just going back to my booth. And I wanna take a few minutes because you had a question, and I also have a few more things I wanna do, so.
Well, it was more of an
Yeah,
especially
please.
for auditions. So
Yeah.
if it is something of the category of, not technically not safe for work, but IRL auditions, make sure they do have an intimacy coordinator, because I had a friend, they're going through auditions, and they were looking at one, and it was quite, not visceral, but they're wanting to do like a lot of intimacy stuff. They did not have an intimacy coordinator on standby or doing it, so it was a really weird request. So it seems weird and it seems like it's out there. Do make sure that there's somebody like on standby.
Would you believe me if I told you that that doesn't always happen? It doesn't. They're correct though. Intimacy coordinators are very important. Whether it's IRL, because I did a film, I did a live action film where that was a requirement. I had an intimate scene with my co. And even though we were not really doing anything, we were still in a bed together, right? But intimacy coordinator, yeah? Same goes for vocal work. But there are a lot of projects where that doesn't get presented because they don't have the budget, right? Indie devs, and please treat your indie devs with love and affection when they deserve it. But a lot of these guys don't have budget, right? They're paying you to voice act, but they maybe don't have the budget for that. I want to remember that you guys advocate for yourself. The thing I said a few minutes ago. You guys advocate for yourself. So if you are uncomfortable and you're reading something and you're like, oh damn bitch, I don't know about that. It's okay. You should never feel uncomfortable going to your dev or your director or whoever and being like, hey, so I noticed that we're getting into this scene, it's a little spicy. Did we have an intimacy coordinator, or are we just kind of shooting from the hip? Like maybe we should talk about it. It's okay to express your comfort. If you get fired from a project, or if they get shitty with you because you brought that up and just wanted to have that consent conversation, what the fuck are you working for them for? That's rude as hell. That breaks your comfort. That could break your co's comfort. But it happens. Anytime that something like that has come up on a project that I've been on, I will take the fucking reins. I have no problem doing that. And I'm like, hey, just so you know, this is a little dubious. Are we cool? Oh, I didn't know. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. You know what that means? And then I've had to literally break this shit down with my co to be like, look, let's talk about it. Because I do a lot of dark romance too. Some of you all know. I see you haunting Adeline people, which by the way, fuck that book, but it's fine. Anyway, it's so bad. It's so bad.
So outside of, for more of the 18 plus auditions and stuff, where would you find the auditions more outside of like Twitter?
Good question. That's hard. No, I'm dead serious. It's really hard. So one of the things with adult related auditions and things, casting rosters, getting casting rosters and getting put on a talent roster is going to be your bread and butter for a lot of that. It really is. Because it's hard. It is so hard. You can cold email your demo reels. Go ahead.
Should you have an 18 plus demo reel?
No. Believe it or not, I don't.
Really?
Mm-mm. I thought about it, but I don't have a separate demo reel for my 18 plus work, right? And I'm gonna kind of speed run a little bit of this explanation, and I apologize for this. There's so much to cover in voice acting, there's so much. And I like to make these fun. I like for you guys to be engaged and to have it be entertaining, but I also really want you to glean something. And I know when you read the initial thing for this, you're like, oh, we're just gonna moan into a microphone for an hour. I need you guys to learn. I'm here to help you, because a lot of the stuff that you can get access to, I mean this with all the love and affection that I can in the world, but there's a lot of voice actors who can't and won't bleed both worlds. My credits for what I do and for what I have, I promise I'm not changing this real, but the things that I do and the credits that I have dictated and proven and stood for themselves that I do stand in both worlds with my name. And I'm happy to do that. I'm proud to fucking do that. I had people come up to me today who were like, I didn't know you were in Mortuary Assistant. I didn't know you were in post-trauma. I didn't know you did that Chucky documentary, which by the way, that shit was banger. That was such a cool job to get. Real quick, do you know why I got that job? Nobody knows, right? Good, because I never told you the story. If you did know, I was going to ask you how you knew. So I got that job just super fast because it's relevant for you guys to kind of feel better about it. But I wound up getting that Chucky job because of another book I did for the same company. The guy that was writing it and was friends with the other writer, so the production and the writer were friends. because I had done the job that I did for them, and they knew that kind of like the weird cadence and stuff that I could do, they pitched me to the writer. I didn't ask him to do that shit. I didn't even know. I got an email. From the guy, and he was like, "Hey, I know that you did these books for us, but like, I have a video project I was gonna pitch you, and you know, is it cool?" And I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you no. I had no idea what it was. Yeah, but I was like, yeah, fuck, like, of course, I'll always do work for you, right? I love it. I get the email back, and he's like, cool, I'll put you in contact, and we'll have you do a read, right? I get an email from the guy, from the writer, and he's like, yeah, so here's the information. So we're doing a documentary for Chucky, for all of the runs of the Chucky films. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And am I lying? So I turned to him, I put my phone down, and I went, I'm like, that's not real. That's a scam. There's no fucking way. It was real. But I did the read, and I wound up getting the job because it was the type of like asshole cadence, because they wanted that campy, but the studio was really, really strict about how they wanted it read because commercial. But we were able to kind of leak in a little campiness because the writer wanted that like that asshole kind of vibe that Chucky has for the way that he wrote the script. But I got that job because of the job that I did over here. Did AMC and Shudder give a shit that I was over here going, "Where's my butthole?" No, because they didn't even fucking know. They don't care. I did a good job. So just keep that in the back of your head, right? But, well, I'm sorry, I tangent. What was your question?
How to get on like rosters. For
That's right. Okay. So that's why I brought that up. Right? So some of the jobs that you do for past work too, even on the Twitter runs and stuff, the auditions, those matter. They will keep in contact with you if you are a good talent and you have that ability. So remember that. But finding companies, so like Ascendant Animation or like Reese Bridger puts up casting sometimes, and
Oh no, I was all right because Reese is a cool dude.
yeah, prime example. So NSIP, NSIP is the company name, but there's a lot of those types of companies, right, that do catalogs for jobs, and they will sometimes open their rosters. Voice actors will carry rosters for each other, which those are homies for real. Like those are the dudes. Always be grateful for those other voice actors because they will make you money at the end of the day, because there's roles that they may still audition, but they're just trying to build each other. What I will do is I have a link for you guys. I obviously can't scan it or anything, but I have an entire stack of places to find auditions, voice actor info, and all kinds of other stuff. And I retweet this stuff when I have it, but I have a lot of collective stuff on my page. I will try to gather it in one area, but I will find a way to post that, or I will repost it for you guys, right? Or DM me if it comes down to it. DM me and be like, Autumn, you promised you'd send me this link. Go fuck yourself, right? Okay. Cool. Here's $5. I'm just kidding, you don't have to do that. But yeah, so I do have a really good resource for that, and I do try to keep them. Here's the thing. One of the things I will tell you that irritates me, and this is just me being honest, okay? I've had people reach out to me. I don't know them. They don't know me. They just show up in my inbox and they're like, hey, you do voice acting. I was just wondering, how do I get started? Hold on. And I know the voice actors know. I know how that sounds. It's like, well, you could just respond. I could. And I usually try to be polite. But here's the thing I need you guys to remember. There's also kind of a transition base here to remember where you're not a coach, right? You don't work for free, okay? There's a difference between friendly advice of like, hey, look, I got a couple things I can send to you, but like, you know, maybe try coaching. Here's a couple of great coaches. Watch your ass on those coaches. Do your research on them too. There's some, I'm not gonna get into it. There are some coaches who will screw you. So make sure that they're reputable and they know what the fuck they're talking about. That's why I told you at the beginning of this panel, I don't consider myself a coach. All of this information is really base level bullshit that I have collected over doing this between the industry of most of my life and the last like 15 plus years, right? Be cautious. But I will try to get that together. So if you guys want that, please DM me, and I'm happy to provide that to you. And I'll see if I can find the other stuff, because I have an audio thread too, and a bunch of other really useful shit.
Is Instagram or Twitter better?
Either. I'm nuts, so I check both. It may take me a minute. You may go to my weird folder, so if you do, please just at me or something, whatever the cool kids call it. It is 2:13. I'm gonna go ahead and continue just a little longer. You guys are welcome to leave if you need to. I know that the panel got weird because we were 10 minutes late as it stands. I just find it really, really important. Okay, so we covered that. We got that. We got that. Oh, what makes a sexy mouth noise? You guys know how weird it is moaning to yourself in your office into a microphone?
Yeah.
You guys want to do it? You guys want to do an exercise?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good, because here's what we're gonna do. Everybody's gonna moan.
Hell yeah.
It's my panel and I want it now. No, I'm dead serious. You guys are in a room full of people. This is a sexy con. All right, so I want you to think about, and if you want to close your eyes, that's okay. If you hear the person next to you moaning and you're like, damn, like, see if they're single. I don't condone that behavior, but like, consent is key. But close your eyes, and then I want you guys to give me, I'm gonna do it 3 times. And here's why, because there's difference. They call these pleasure vocals. And sometimes you'll get companies when you're doing spicy auditions ask you to send 10 to 15 seconds of pleasure vocals. And that means orgasm sounds. What does it sound like when you're fucking? Or blowing, or sucking, right? Fucking. So, the first one I want you guys to do real quick is I want it to be very gentle, very subtle, very soft. Right? Okay, close your eyes. 1, 2, 3. You guys can stop after 1.
No, we're all right. We were getting into
Y'all are getting real into that. You're right, I didn't give that instruction, but the fact that you kept going is hilarious. All right, second one. All right?
Just the one.
I mean, at this rate, fuck it. The second one is gonna have a little more momentum to it, right? So that's gonna be a little bit more of an effort. You're not quite, fucking just, but if you do fuck like that, I'm so sorry. But just a little bit more effort, a little bit. So for example, I'm gonna compare these for fun. So that first round, when you're doing effort noises, not pleasure vocals, but efforts. So for combat, right? There's a soft draw, there's something very gentle. It's not like overpower, like I'm not trying to fucking go Super Saiyan. Okay? So for this second one, for pleasure vocals, you're gonna give that medium effort noise. So for regular, safe for work, it's gonna sound more like, right? I had somebody tell me not to move my body. This sounds weird. I had somebody tell me that I wasted more effort moving my body when I was acting. Sometimes that works for people. If you gotta move your body, move your fucking body. It's authenticity.
Actually, I would think that would help, considering how I've heard that you can exert more power, like bending an iron bar, if you project.
Effort. Yeah. No, and that's what they'll tell you in powerlifting. Have you guys ever watched powerlifters?
Yep.
If you haven't, it's okay. Like, obviously that's a weird question. But powerlifters, right? You get that like, oh, he's Super Saiyan. That's very true. And so the same goes for acting. So if I'm doing an effort sound that's like that, that's what you're hearing. So for the second one, I want you guys to give me a little bit more of that oomph, okay? 3, 2, 1. Some of you did effort noises and some of you did pleasure vocals, and that sounded like a gladiatorial battle. Like I was hearing Spartacus. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm into it. I can see it. Gladiatorial fuck battle. Okay.
Somebody write it. We gotta make it happen. It's the Pepsi commercial.
Gladiators
Brain
also have.
I got a script to write.
So,
yeah, right?
So
I gotta IP that.
actually, there is an Oglov comic that does.
Oh,
cover
yes,
it.
yes, I love Old Love. Anyway, so, all right, for the third one. You guys did a good job, by the way. But you notice, did you hear the variance, right? And I'm so proud of you guys. I need you to understand, this sounds so goofy and crazy and like a little nerve-wracking because you're like, oh my God, like that's such a weird thing to do in front of strangers. It's about shaking that shit off. You're a performer, we're all here for the same reason. So for this third one, okay, this third one is gonna be the final, let's say 10 to 15 seconds of your pleasure vocal run, right? Now we're doing pleasure vocals.
Thank you for the clarification.
If you want to do an effort, I guess, go for it.
Effort in the pleasure.
You right. But efforts, for an effort noise, okay, it's gonna be a lot more effort with power, exertion. Right? You get a lot more of that, which by the way, you will peak the fuck out of your mic, turn your gain down. If you don't know what gain is, I covered that at the beginning of the panel. No, I didn't. Bad teacher. Gain is the thing that basically allows for the plus and the minus of the decibel levels, right? You turn it up and down. It's the easiest way to explain it.
It's engineering for volume.
Yeah, which, hey, I want to implore you guys too, before I continue actually to touch on that, learn a little bit about sound engineering. It's so helpful and it's fascinating. But it really will help you. It really will. And it'll help your sound engineer, and if your sound engineer likes you, you get more jobs. I'm dead serious. So for this third one, you guys heard kind of what it sounded like in an effort capacity. For your pleasure vocals, it's gonna be how do you orgasm? Like your final, like you are shooting your partner through the roof with how much you are filling their holes. Right? Right? How does she do that? I've got an imagination. I've been thinking about fucking the whole time. That's the trick, Captain. You're always thinking about fucking.
Stone cold professional.
I am such an unprofessional professional.
God, it's like that dumb meme where it's porn. It's always has been.
It's always has been. All right, so for that third one, I want you guys I don't know, can we do that? Because is there normal people out there?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe shut the door. Maybe shut the door. I maybe should have thought about that before I did it, but it doesn't matter. I want you guys to make the people waiting on the elevator question what the fuck is happening in this room. And then you tell your friends, and then just be like, oh, they told me not to talk about it. NDA! I'm so proud of you! Okay, ready? 3, 2, give it to me.
Who said wow?
Wow. Fucking Owen Wilson? When did you get here?
We're not doing a spicy reading of Wedding Crashers. We're not.
Oh man.
Who was here for my last panel the last time I did this? Anybody?
Yeah.
You guys. Anybody else? So the last time, I wanted to give an example of acting, and that's what I'm going to close on for you guys, is how to make something totally unsexy still somehow sound sexy, right? So I asked for, and I'm going to do it again, but I asked for examples from the audience. I was like, give me a monologue that is like it's just unsexy, right? They fucking gave me the mom's rant and monologue from Hereditary. I still have it somewhere. But the mom's rant from her, they were like, yeah, the Hereditary, like, mom's monologue. And I was like, are you fucking okay?
No, there was no hesitation either. It was
No,
as
they
soon
were
as she asked the
ready.
question.
Like,
and
I
they
was
hadn't
like,
pulled up
they
on
didn't
it.
even know what I was doing. they fucking, I got it. I was like, what the fuck? So we're gonna do that again. And this is kind of a final exercise deal, okay? So you guys can see it. Because I feel like I should prove myself, right? I feel like you guys have learned a lot here, but do you trust I know what I'm doing?
Yes.
With my life.
We know you
With my life?
You get paid more to do this than I do, so you got
But one day that may be
Different.
I myself too many times have put my position of I really needed the money and compromised what I cared about for the things that I needed to do for the money. I won't ever do that shit again. I can't do that shit to myself again. And I won't do it anymore. I had a very good friend of mine tell me once, who worked with horses, right? She's a phenomenal equine person, but we got into a serious conversation. And she said, I will no longer take clients no matter what amount of money that they offer me. I will fire my clients before I ever compromise me and the things that I want to do for what make me happy in this business. I would rather have less clients and less money than to lose the love for what I do. I feel like that's fair. Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna get silly. So, who has a monologue? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, wait, I'm gonna let the audience, because a lot of you have one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do an audience vote. What's yours?
The oral arguments for the Citizens United Supreme Court case.
Does
this look like...
You should have picked FSC versus...
Oh shit, you're right! I was like, we'll pretend like that's what they picked.
Yeah.
Does this look like fucking Rick and Morty to you? Those are my boys. Y'all, we're homies now. What's yours?
The Billy Madison rant where he tells them they got have mercy on your soul.
He knows that's a favorite of mine. Okay.
Mine is just a one comic panel. It's a meme from a hentai comic. Where the character is going, this is crazy. I'm getting my ass fucked while eating my own pussy.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. So that's really spicy. It's not
crazy enough,
but might be hilarious.
So the guts thing where he's like, it was too big to be called a sword.
Oh.
Thick, heavy, and far too rough.
You can't tell me that wasn't intentional.
The war has changed from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Not even dressed like Solid Snake, bro. Okay.
Maybe this was too short, but the Bioshock opening, the monologue from Andrew Ryan.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Okay. Okay, Bioshock.
I mean, you're talking about short, but my name is Inigo Montoya.
You killed my father, prepare to die. I can just do that
It
one.
was on TV this morning.
No, it's not. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Okay. Witness
I hate you. Everybody in this room is neurodivergent, I'm pretty sure. And like, all of us just clipped into date programming. Damn, I'm not trying to go back home.
Do you ever wonder why we're here monologue from Red versus Blue?
Oh, okay, all right, enough. Okay, because this is the last thing, and I'm stuck now. Okay, so we've got a court case, Billy Madison, the hentai meme, Berserk, Bioshock,
Oh, Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear, the Fitness Gram, and Red versus Blue. I'll tell you what, whoever gets it pulled up first.
Shit. I have one of these.
Damn, you pull yours up because everybody made noise at that, and I feel like you guys are lying to me. Okay, let me do this one.
That's fair.
Just because I love this one really fast.
You're welcome.
Okay, so this is from Billy Madison, if you guys remember the end of that film. What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber. Oh, dumber. For having, oh fuck, listen to it. I award you no points. Oh my God, have mercy on your soul. Fuck. I hope none of you watch Billy Madison and ever see that scene the same way again.
Better now.
Okay, let me do the red versus blue. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, so what kind of sexy? Same as the last one, or like somebody give me?
That smoker type woman, just like,
Okay.
The funny thing is you said okay.
We don't shame.
Like the lunch lady smoker?
Oh yeah, Doris. Lunch lady Doris.
Hey. Are you serious? Actually, you know that might be fun because we just did a sexy one. So let's do something that's a little different for vocal range, right? So okay. So lunch lady Dolores.
Lunch lady Dolores.
Grease me up, woman.
Okay. So we're starting off a little bit like this.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna just start off like this, and that's how it's gonna transition. Hey. Yeah. You ever wonder why we're here? That's one of life's greatest mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? I mean, are we the product of some cosmic coincidence, or is there really a God watching everything? You know, with a plan for us and stuff. I don't know, man, but it keeps me up at night. What? I meant like, why are we out here in this canyon? Yeah. What's all that stuff about God? Nothing? You want to talk about it? No? You sure? Yeah. Seriously though, like, why are we out here? As far as I can tell, it's just a box in a canyon in the middle of nowhere with no way in. Or out. And the only reason that we set up a red base here is because they have a blue base over there, and the only reason they have a blue base over there is because we have a better red base right here. Oh. Yeah, that's because we're fighting each other. No, but I mean, even if we were to pull out today, and they were to come take our base, they would have 2 bases in the middle of nowhere, fighting like a bunch of blue guys. Trench is looking through a sniper rifle at the red base, and Tucker is with him. What are they doing? What? I said, what are they doing now? Goddamn, I'm getting so sick of answering that fucking question! Okay, you're welcome. All right, so here's the deal. Oh God, I can't get rid of that shit.
Now I want to hear you do Dan Aykroyd in the bowling alley and the Big Lebowski. That's what I want to hear you.
That is really specific. So
no different.
I get it. So the reason that I wanted to kind of show you guys is that cadence, performance, tone, approach to delivery. Yeah, very breath. So one thing that I get caught up on a lot of the time, and that's good that you brought that up, is the breathiness of something, right? You really want to filter that. I have a tendency to add laughs, right? Especially for like villain style thing, if they're very sarcastic. What do you mean? I would never do something like that. Me? Never. I have a really bad tendency during auditions to add laughs. Ad-libbing shit in for auditions can be so great, but detrimental to some because you can overdo it. You really can. And that was some feedback I got recently actually from Bullock, right? So Jay Bullock gave me a little bit of feedback on that. And it wasn't intentional, but the character was just very sarcastic kind of. But that was something that he brought up. So I will close you guys out with this. I very, very much appreciate each and every one of you coming and hanging out and dealing with me ranting for like 45 minutes about the serious shit and like the technical aspect. I do very much hope that you had fun and understand that you are performers, you are talented, and even if you aren't here because you know you want to be an actor and you just wanted to see my shake my butt a little bit, which is cool, like I'm not here to tell you no. I want to remind you that whatever it is that you are looking to achieve or the things that you're looking to do are absolutely fucking doable. Don't ever let somebody tell you that you cannot do or achieve something that you want to. Don't ever let that be something that stops you. And I know that you get a lot of motherfuckers that come in and they're like, just do it! You can be so great! Like, calm the fuck down, broccoli head. I see you, MHA motherfuckers. So, but seriously, don't let that be the thing that stops you. You guys have so much ability and so much sense of self and so much power in that self that anything that you choose to rise to is absolutely fucking doable. Well, but what if? Motherfucker, if we let every what if in the world be the thing that stopped us, none of us would get anywhere. With anything. Ourselves, our loved ones, our family, our finances. If you got shit you want to do, fucking do it. That includes auditions for safe for work stuff, not safe for work stuff, live action. Stretch your legs, decide what makes you comfortable. Don't ever compromise your sense of self for what? Money. Or do, and if you're gonna do that, I don't wanna hear you bitching about it later. Don't fucking come to me. But again, I'm Autumn Ivy. I'm an actor, a narrator, a general chaos creator. I do a little bit of everything.